right, folks, and away we go here for another show. What's going on? Great to see everybody. Hey, if you're new, if you're old, if you don't have the software, get with the program. HPC Lite for TradingView. It's really HPC the bomb for TradingView. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com and get the 14-day free trial. Everyone, please start that. And then the other thing I need to just kind of get out of the way here, folks, get over to the basic members page. Some people have been, I think what they're doing is they're just accessing the program and blindly executing. This is a learning curve. Okay, let me be clear with that. So get the software, take a week or two, and then go through these course material. All of that is free here, available as a basic member. Simply go to the website and sign up, register now. Okay? Great to see everybody today. How are you doing? What's the word? Let's go, right? Never say die on the on NASDAQ QQQ. We almost hit the 500 level this morning in the pre-market, and we will hit it. I think we'll hit it today. You know, get up there to 500 and then bust through. So a lot to get to, of course. We need to talk about this crypto market and what we're going to do with it. And how are we going to strategize what's happened recently, and where is this launch pad? Right? Everyone's talking about this thing. It's supposed to be, you know, through the roof. Bitcoin 102,000. I think that's a great place to start because last week we exceeded some levels we didn't want to see, and it just suggests a slightly deeper correction, in my opinion. Retracement. Way to go. And really the possibilities that we need to consider and maximum possibilities are really one of two scenarios. So let's take what's happened so far this year on Bitcoin. Okay, what do we have here? There's the low, 39,000, 38,750, all the way up, real nice run, 73,777. But what do we have here? Okay, for a long time, and we're still there. You know, we're still dealing with this situation of the 61, generally 72 to the top side. That's been the range. In my opinion, though, we were supposed to hold this dot. We're supposed to hold 61. We're 57, and we flashed. I mean, incredibly, we flashed to 53.4. All right, doesn't seem like a heck of a lot in light of the last 18 months. You know, a mere retracement, and I still say and think this is a retracement, and I don't think anything changes. You know, I'm still looking for and still call this the year of the 1618. We see it in the S&P 500. We see it in the NASDAQ, and they're almost there. Tell you what, if Bitcoin was anywhere above 75,000 or even close to our 1618, this would be a stellar year. I mean, this would be a year for the record books. That's still the objective, folks. That's still the price discovery minimum. And I still don't think that that's a big target to consider, but it's still our target. We're still looking for a launch pad, and call it 102. Okay. NASDAQ, beautiful. I mean, maybe we should just quick look at these 1618 comparatively, how this has unfolded, because I've been saying 1618s all along. I mean, for probably a year or more of that, with this kind of a breakout, that we would all cross the board the year of the 1618. Come on. Every time this gets out. Okay, like this. So there you go. Within, you know, we're just so close to scratching that 1618. Okay, but that's what it should look like. There you go, right on the dot. 504.36, 503.50. It's just a smidge above, a skosh above 500, as they say. So that's a little bit different. I tell you, this is not what I want to see here. Hold on. Thank you. So what do we have here? Bitcoin, it did this kind of a thing. Okay, pretty much a nominal run up to new highs, and now we're rolling back down. So we need something like the dot. And if we come back to what we talked about in our crypto webinar back in June with the new recipe, weekly oversold in terms of a yellow dot with daily type 2 patterns. I'm going to get into a few. Okay? But this is different what QQQ is doing versus Bitcoin. Two different 1618 extensions. I'm thinking that now with what we have currently, you go back to Bitcoin really quick, show you that weekly setup. So we're going to need a dot. And I was talking like this last week of saying we still need 2 more weeks. So you need a green candle. Okay, there was check back week. Last week ended up being a red candle. Can we get one and then one more green candle? That's what you need. You need to see green. That's what we were talking about last week. So if this leaks down, continues to leak down, we're doing some kind of retracement against the 2024 progress year to date. Forget about last year. Okay, forget about last year. It's all about this range, which is 38 to 71. All right, but it doesn't have to. Just hear me out, okay? We've been trying to be patient really since May. And we got this. Let's dial it back. We got this bat pattern up here, right there at 71, which ended up capping the current move. The weekly here then did that retracement. We were not surprised by that type 1 retracement. But going a little deeper than we all wanted. I wanted 60 to hold. But more importantly, I need a launch pad. I need a weekly trigger that will set it up to get this thing where it can start the next leg. And you see how that's different from, say, what the QQQ did, where that was conviction. This, not so much. So let's be aware of that. Let's actually just kind of be mindful of the fact that we've always said this is a Bitcoin cycle, that if we want all things to move, Bitcoin must be trending. So you go back to the top back in March and it's not trending, hence why you're not seeing any related follow-through action. But what we'll look for this week, I don't care where, but that's got to be green, and then you need another green, and then we'll deal. But that, my friends, that puts you at the end of the month. So we can't expect fireworks. You can't expect anything massive to move. You're dealing with that trend line test. We have no triggers, not on the weekly yet. And the daily, dare I say, here almost failed. I don't want to say that's failed, but definitely overrun beyond the constraints. I mean, maybe 58 was a little overspill beyond 61, but no. So that's the situation with crypto. It will come around. I mean, you got a perfect market environment. You've got tech leading the way, continuing to lead the way, which is what we want to see. Crypto, it's got to come around. We need Bitcoin to have a renaissance, if you will. Get some revitalization into this after the ETF sell the news quarter, 3 months. But I'm not. Don't get dismissive on it. Just let's get more precise, patient, all of the P words. Okay. But here, total index showing that we're back at 2 trillion. 212 was the big number. We did not want to see that come in, but here's the dot. So, okay, this is more of what I'm talking about. It's not official until this week closes, but here, ever since that formed, we were saying, okay, check it back around 2.3. Give me 2.2, something like that. Well, it decided to come all the way to 190 and then give us a dot. So this total index with that yellow dot, that's the kind of thing we want to see. But it's not official till Sunday night. And then daily dot, I'm down on that. I like the fact that you're getting weekly and daily oversold triggers in the same place. But we need to retest that open, retest that bar. And that's right at 2 trillion. So this whole area needs to be consolidation zone, stabilize a couple more days. Talk to me next week about getting serious about a launch pad. What's going on, chat? A few more people straggling in. What's happening on Tuesday? Summer. What'd you guys do for the holiday? Anybody have any fun? Go anywhere? Do anything? I've been enjoying the summer so far. I think I'm due for a trip, another trip. But so far, you know, I'm having a great year except for crypto, and that's it. It is you know, makes me a little crypto remorseful, if you will. Long some positions and then just they go nowhere or get massive drawdown. That's not fun. Meanwhile, stuff like the Qs and Tesla and Meta and a lot of these Adobe and all of these Nvidia, they're just rocking. So we're going to get into that in a second. But what I want to highlight really quick, let's look at a couple big of the big coins. Let's get to Ethereum, which is, hey, 2880. I didn't think we'd come all the way back down there, but we sure did. And that's disappointing. I mean, I really thought this 2880 could be a launch pad. Right there. Remember that? That was not even 2 months ago or barely 2 months ago before that launch. And then we come all the way back, scraping 2880 again. This has to be, you do not want to see a close, a breakdown, anything on Ethereum under that level. And dare I say, we couldn't even do a shark to 5.0. Could not even get that back. So and again, I come back, why? Why are these daily situations not working out? Beautiful, reactive, harmonic opportunities. But why? Because our recipe, okay, our formula that we have been talking about since last month, since the 21st, is that we shifted and said, okay, we need weekly continuation signals like here and there. If we really want to get a launch pad, that's what we need. So, okay, I'm there. We had the signal blast off on your ETF news. Now check it back, because this news or whatever happened in this bar, it was ETF news. All right, doesn't really matter for our purposes. It was the initiation of an HSI signal. It's only the starting point. You have a reaction. You got to retest. I mean, it's just like there. Little 1 bar reaction, 2 bar reaction, retest it, and then you're in position to go. That's what's going to happen here. 2880, folks, plant it in your brain for Ethereum. I do think it's an opportunity there, but I need to see absolute, demonstrative confirmation, or I'm not going to play. I'll take my ball and I will go home until I get this stuff. Yep. Really good. Really, really, really. Look, it's easy to fall into the narrative trap, but none of us here are Michael Saylor able to take $3 billion drawdowns. Okay? We have to be as precise as possible. I know I do. I don't know about you guys, but that's what I try to do every day. But this is, you know, just going to take a little more time. There's that word. It can be frustrating, but that's how trading goes. Okay, this is the art side of it, where it's like, hey, it's not an exact science, but the job is for you to trade the market and be ready to trade the market when it is ready to be traded. In terms of the crypto, I would say that's probably starts next week or a week from Sunday, as long as that's green and next week is green. Great to see everybody today. Hey, Mitch Ray, how are you, man? We need to talk. We need to catch up. Everybody, big shout out. Mitch Ray's in the chat, the one, the only. What's up, David? Lake, Prez, Sonic, Jeremy. What's up, you guys? What's going on? Why don't you guys show me some coins? Incredible. Incredible. Nice little stat there. BTC production cost is 46K. I think that's probably that's a nice metric to think about. Definitely. A couple other guys. Great to see you, Neil. Neil, we'll do the books on Thursday. We'll give away a couple more. Okay. Thank you. Great to see everybody. That's what's going on here. Now let me show you and share with you some of my ideas about, so with what we've been doing as kind of like a model portfolio for folks since last year, is to put together a general crypto webinar, crypto portfolio. And where is that? I can show you guys. That portfolio look like this. There you go. Look like this. This is pretty much what we were talking about. That was back in January, and then we went to, hold on. Where is it? That was back in January. Let me find the right slide. But then we switched this out, and we sold the XRP and Cardano. I'll come back to that, but essentially what I'm talking about is we have about 11,000 of that 100K portfolio to allocate to real trash, okay? The kind of T coin that we want to see go 10x, what have you. So let me show you some ideas. Things that are my idea here is to take this and allocate like 7 to 9 coins, 10 to 15% each on that 11K in things like Akash Network. That's just one, but we're still going to use the formula. Weekly dots, daily type 2s going forward. So there's a weekly dot. Here's the daily type 2. Remember, it's under 309. Pretty close. The only problem I have with Akash Network right now is you have a counter HSI. But this is one of the T-coin formula that I've been talking about, where what you want to see is, first of all, a coin that made tremendous progress pre-halving, so that the assumption is we are, on our way, like this is a halfway point within the cycle, with disproportionate gains coming post-halving of Bitcoin, whether it is altcoins or Bitcoin, doesn't matter, any coin, crypto coin, doesn't matter. Come on, I have to fix my thing here. Can never see that on my edge. So this is the thought, okay? It's not one of these dead crypto, and that was really what we were talking about last seminar, was let's get the dead crypto out of the way. But it's more like this: big thrust up. We have a nice 618 natural fractal harmonic pullback to then do something like a 1618. Okay? That's the general idea. Is this going to happen? I can't tell you. But what the assumption is that we're looking for price discovery to happen, to continue, if it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of them, to the point where the next wave, whatever it is, as long as we have made progress on the pre-halving cycle, that we can do an eventual minimum 1618 extension. Akash is probably the first one that's satisfying those conditions. Another one, render. These are specific weekly and daily conditions being met in terms of this new harmonic recipe. Weekly dot, that will be complete this week. Why? There's our arrow. We've checked back one green bar. That's a second green bar. If we get that green bar dot by Sunday, then we're fair game on render right around 635, exactly where it is right now. Check out your daily. Type 2s. Well, no, that was a type 1, but come on, where's the other feed? Where's the other feed? Sorry, it's these stupid, slightly different data feeds, but I know there's a shark here, but there's a bat. There's a type 2 bat here. There's the shark. Why am I missing this, guys? There should be a bat here. Oh, I see what it is. The software does this. There's the T1. There's the T2. It's drawing a shark. We were looking at a bat at around 665, but the shark is slightly bigger. If I change this, the bat's probably going to come up. Let me, if I was just to take off the shark, the bat that we were looking at would come up. No, I don't know why. I'm not going to screw around with it. But look, 665 has been the number for render. So generally anywhere under 7, 6 to 7, and then we will be, verified on the close with a yellow dot here. And just note, that's all-time 618 retracement material. So symmetry's there, confirmation's there. We're just early in terms of time. And listen, one of the problems with being early, thinking you're going to be late and be like, oh, I got to jump into that because I'm going to miss it. Well, that's when you do stuff like what I did on Scale. And this is definitely an error on me. I bought I don't know. I bought 150,000 of these at between 7 and 5. Started at 7. Added more at 6, a little more at 5. Now we're 4.3, dummy. Right? Well, look, I'm going to hold this. And then I'll see if I can get the bounce and get back out. But I had some daily things here that didn't work out. Now I have a bat. I had the weekly check back. And again, I admitted that mistake to you guys, and I told you I wasn't going to get out because I thought I could recover it. Well, this is what happens when you don't do that. Now, I'm glad it wasn't crazy, crazy money, but there's our dot. So that's the lesson. I mean, listen, we got to learn every trade. And with crypto, I mentioned this last week, the percentage drawdowns are uncommonly large where you can get overspill moves and then, find yourself 30% down in an initial position, which is what I'm down. I'm down 30, 40% on this. But we'll get this dot. That dot will be official Sunday, and then I'll see if we can get off of there, get out, back to 6 or 7. I probably just dump it and favor more of the other, the other better T-coin situations like Ethereum Classic. So Ethereum Classic, come on. Hold on. Ethereum Classic is another one I like longer term because we have a lot of things coming together here. A lot of, here's their dot. So there's the dot for the week. Don't forget, we have some butterfly structures. There's a lot of patterns down here. Where's my butterfly? Butterfly should be here. Right around 20. Hold on. Where'd it go? Bear with me. Oh, I see what's going on. My computer's super slow. Must be the other. Hold on. Oh, it's Coinbase feed. That's the problem. Coinbase, great. Daily or weekly? There's the daily, big pattern. And then where's my weekly? My weekly butterfly, which is right back in the zone. But I don't, where the heck? Hold on, guys. Let me show this. I don't know why. I had a butterfly right there at 20 bucks, and it's like hop levels 18. There it is. It's Binance feed. I don't like the fact that those crypto feeds are different to the fact that we're to the point where they just don't give us this equivalent read or equivalent structures on every asset. But that's crypto. But here we are back in this zone. Consider that like a tertiary retest. As long as we have confirmation, which we do now, you're good. The open trigger on that is 19.76. So that is technically weekly oversold. It's not a daily type 2 on this structure, but we could go back and say, yeah, we're retesting a few others. There are a lot of things. I think the number's 18 on Ethereum Classic, but it all comes down to when the confirmation officially registers. So you look Sunday. We'll look Sunday. Oh, look at that. Nasdaq's dropping off. Great to see you. Hey, what's up, Arun? Juice, Neil? Thank you. Appreciate you, Neil. What's up, Freeze? Yeah, we're going to stocks in a second. This is the situation, guys. The final, those are the big T coin things I'm considering. Okay, but I need to see other development. So here's the other one. We have mentioned this for a while, and folks, please stay with me. Follow Harmonic Pattern Framework and understand there truly is something to this. We live in a fractal universe. Okay, we live in a fractal universe, and we have to respect the fractal levels. That's what we're talking about. So we're shark to 5.0 on Binance Coin. And this was the thing that really got me about 2 weeks ago, where I was saying, this probably needs a pullback retracement to alleviate this condition. And the tops looked a lot like Bitcoin. So I'll wait for 414. That's 100 lower. You're down here, oversold. Great. Binance Coin, it will be another opportunity. But once we get weekly oversold, anything daily? Any patterns here? No. No daily patterns down here. But weekly shark to 5.0? Yeah, that's 400. Gotta stay within that framework and let this kind of come in. Let that happen. It looked like Binance Coin would do remarkable things. Not ready for the breakout. I mean, where is the real acceleration on all that? All of this is going to come next confirmation signal. Wait, it's again level here is 414, but that's a situation where the big coins, big market cap stuff, it's printing some shark to 5.0 behavior. Bitcoin, the rest of it, we need more time. So yeah, we could leak down as we try to put in this confirmation. No matter what, it's it's a next week consideration. Let's jump over. Yeah, let's jump over ENS. One other one. Yeah, ENS. So ENS is doing impressive things. I mean, that's impressive chart. ENS weekly oversold. That was back in May. Wasn't there? There was something down here a while back. Don't know. Nothing. Maybe I'm confusing this with Ethereum Classic. ENS is a strong chart, no doubt. Do you chase it? No. No, we'll wait for a retest. Maybe you get back to 20 down here. Haven't we learned not to chase already yet? Don't know. That's Ethereum name server, ENS. I do like the way these various Ethereum instruments are setting up, but like the rest of them, it's like a prove me week. Show me. Anybody from Missouri here? Show me state. Yeah, show me crypto. Okay? That's what we have to do. Um, I just think, like, I'm not shying away from crypto. I just think we have to be firm on demanding signals. There's a there's probably a dozen markets I could go through here and show you guys patterns, but until they trigger and turn around and Bitcoin does some things, I think we're just going to be really reactive. Kind of an up for 2 days, down for 3 days, up for 4 days, kind of a thing. Yeah, yeah. Here's go back to my scale one more time. So don't be like me on this one. Okay, there you go. Even with that beautiful pattern in scale now, I still need confirmation on the weekly. That's how I'm going to stay out of trouble. Like there's the HSI check back, but we need this week. We haven't had one green week yet. Oh, the last one I need to talk to you about is Solana, because I really like Solana. It demonstrates the kind of progress most crypto should be making. If you're going to be in position to really do something spectacular, you should have at least come off your bottom, your T-coin bear market bottom, which it did, made great progress. This is a 786. Come all the way back down, perfect 382. So dare I say that that's your C point on Solana. This week will be the first week of confirmation, and it'll be the first weekly dot since all the way back here, July 22. If that's a 382, this sets the whole thing up where we have a butterfly formation. Why? Because your B point is a 786 within the tolerance, plus minus 3%. So come back 382. And I would say Bitcoin is, at this point, Bitcoin has to do a 382 as well. Bitcoin's 382 is 50K. But more important, let's go back to that on Thursday. More important is the time. And that's next week. QQQ, guys. Amazing. Beautiful. Round of applause for this. Truly, truly awesome action. And I want to get you guys mentally prepared of what to be thinking up here as we start to sweep across the highs and finally hit it. It's a big deal. I mean, it's like it's the way to think of it. It's kind of like hitting the, having the final lap here, Indy 500 kind of a deal, or getting very close, the last 10 laps. That we want to be looking for certain things up here in case we do get that nice inflection. It's real common to get a hard 382 retracement off of a massive 1618, which this is massive. Probably your monthly chart's the way to go. but we're really looking at what's going to happen here. Are we going to pivot out or go up? This is the first week we hit the overbought, okay, in QQQ for HSI since all the way back here, December. Okay, December was the last time we were overbought. And remarkable that we still managed to grind higher with almost a perfect HSI continuation on the weekly, which is the beautiful thing about HSI. HSI, just because something's going to give us an inflection doesn't mean it's going to go straight down. It's more of a character thing. This is clearly just a pause, but once we finish that correction, turn back up, that's your continuation. Same goes here. We're overbought, okay? We're just hitting it now, but it's in the inflection. So this could be anywhere from 2, 3 to 10 weeks of this topping formation before we even have to worry about it. And that's a damn good thing. It's been phenomenal. I mean, it really, let's pull up the Qs. Pull up the Q chart, Q screen here. On there, I'll rip through some of these. And then we have, come on back. Where'd you go? Yeah, we have this stuff. So amplified is up in the overbought. Here's HSI in the overbought. We're not even above 88.6. We need to get above the red line. Could we go all the way to the teal line? Sure. And that would be strong. So what we need to see here, and the only thing I care about is just it can be the smallest of small green bars, but let's just do a steady weekly green bar climb until we put in, the confirmation, the check back, 2 red candles. You get what I'm saying? We're probably at least a month away from triggering anything that would be considered, okay, the end of this run. Listen, since April, that's been a remarkably strong run, even faster than what we saw from, and I didn't even think that would be possible, but, October up until February, phenomenal run. This is even better. And we're targeting 503 for all of you folks that have been here with me for a year or more. This is, consider yourself having gone through a cycle. Consider yourself with a bit of experience under your belt now of how these long-term moves, swing moves, get to major extensions like that. What's up, Neil? Yeah, Neil is the absolutely the same goes for the SPY, and we'll get to that. Look, it's a massive allocation cycle, arbitrarily just getting put into the market in the top market cap instruments, top 20, top 50, the Magnificent Seven, but really for even S&P, it's just the top 20 to 100 really lifting it. But for the Qs, they've been our featured vehicle, and they continue to be the featured vehicle. And I say this even after we get to these targets and above, because I want everyone to be thinking longer term. Okay, I want you guys to be thinking in terms of this massive trend and where this goes in terms of the next X number of years. Where are we going to be 2025, 2026 with this kind of steady progression? Market just continuing to build its long-term trend, and for what we need to be focusing on, respecting that this is a substantial monthly, and I mean it, monthly breakout that is not even a year into its development. And that's, I know it's not easy to see things from the long-term perspective, but understand that that little 2-year bear market pause phase, and that's all it is, will end up being a major consolidation, much like we saw back here, or even go back, 2016. Okay, and then what happens is these retracements just get dwarfed by the advance, by the follow through, by the recovery. And that's not stopping. Look, this is something I want everyone's in here, okay, to learn the markets, learn technical analysis, learn harmonics. Why? So that you identify the opportunities to participate in this market and change your life. And when we're seeing a market like this, with the NASDAQ continuing to make progress longer term, listen, we just need to then identify the retracement opportunities so that every time we retrace, we ride this line. I think you ride that trend line for the next 3 to 4 years minimum. And we will be looking for, don't get me wrong, I will be looking for a retracement above 500, above 505. I mean, we might even go as high as 550 on this run. Why? This is a 1618 breakout right there. But what do we know about 1618 breakouts? The 1902 is a overspill complementary number. Okay, that puts you around 540. So build your zone. We're looking for a big push move, 503, 505 minimum, up to 540 between now and January. I think it's going to happen sooner, but as a first thrust situation, then maybe we go into a pause, 236 type of deal or something like that, some kind of retracement, and then you continue. And continue to the point where this is our deal for the decade. For the next 3 to 5 years, I want a 314. We're going to get pullbacks along the way. But what happens at this 1618? And I mean, it's this week, guys. It's this week. It's this month. It's July. We're coming into earnings. Okay, if we're really going to see a massive move, we're going to see a big 30 days. And that big 30 days will kind of be like the fireworks that go off to set off an accelerated continuation. It's real close. Look, this all action here has been impressive, right? Let me blow all of this up so that we can get a good look. And what happens at these levels do matter. That's my other point. Like, okay, there's the 886. It blew right through 886, right to a 1618. What you want to see is a big candle, volume to increase, where we find ourselves not 503, 505, but in a month we're 515, almost 520. Then we definitely get that overspill move, setting up for a larger thing to come. This is not a surprise, shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Let's quick jump to the SPY. Well, actually, let me show you one or two big tech, and then we'll go to SPY. Tesla, guys. Okay, we've been on Tesla since last month. We jumped in on around 180. It was just a real nice entry. We got a lot of patterns down here, 183 area. It got stretched out, but now making great progress. We're already target 2 without any confirmation. And we have prior patterns. I think 290, retest this. Go back here. We have a bat pattern. It's like 290, maybe as high as 343. It's on. Stay long. Also, remember this? wasn't like 2 weeks ago. We were talking this TSLL. Beautiful 2x. Okay, sailing through target 2. On the daily, it was a shark, ugly shark to 5-0 at 16.10, and you're there. I said that. Oh, did we hit that already? We sure did. I said 16.10. It was like 10 days ago when really I kind of said this thing's moving. Let's target 16.10, and there you go. What's up, GoldenEye? Yeah, I love the Apple. This is something. Maybe next week I'll go feature all of these 2x, 3x unique instruments because they are giving us additional insights. AAPU. There's the Apple creature. And this is Apple, the Granite Share 2x. Had, what was it? I had something down there. I think it was this shark, kind of an ugly shark. Yeah, this thing is just sailing. There's definitely some better ones. There are some better ones. Let me hold on. Let me pull up that list. Here's the list. There you go. Check out. I posted this for my crew this morning, but this is a good list here. Check these out. Like the metas. I could go through these next week, maybe Thursday. But like Amazon, Apple, AAPB, Microsoft, these are great vehicles as this stuff continues. AAPB. Let's see. Yeah, that's the 2X. That's what it was. There you go. This also is a great vehicle because Apple was flashing some patterns around 165 or so. But this thing is clear as day. I mean, look at that right off the 886. Remarkable. I mean, that's an explosive move. But there's other ones I'll get into. What was the other? It was, well, NVIDIA, guys. NVIDIA, first of all, NVIDIA has done this. Daily, look, daily HSI dot continuation. So, and NVIDIA is just, that trend that's nowhere near stopping. Okay, you're going to get pullbacks along the way, but that's been amazing. That's up, that's a 300% this year. In the past year, it's up 300%. What was the other one? It was Microsoft, MSFL. Granite Share 2x long. Yeah, I'm going to look more at these. Why? Why would I look at these? Because I think they're a great way to play what's happening with this acceleration, getting a little extra leverage, better than options. I mean, here's Microsoft. You know, remember 2022? Remember this pattern? 216. Okay. This thing is sailing, but what we know we can do with this pattern, even though that was 2 years ago, we talked about why that was so critical. The structure will serve us well going forward as a means of something to measure off of. So Microsoft, yeah, let's book at least a 314 move, and that, you know, Microsoft is something like a $650 stock. It's not a $450 stock. It's a $650 stock. And where'd it go? Bring this over here. There's our 1618, guys. Right at 444. We're hitting it and blowing through. No confirmation. 1902 as an immediate kind of objective. 480. These all have a little more to go, even in our most conservative overspill estimates. Not to mention the train track progress of the past many years continues. All of this stuff, you know, it's easy to get kind of get caught up in I don't know, just the short-term gyrations. Hold on, where the heck is that? Here you go, regression channel. Let me clean this up. Regression channel. These are the tracks, okay? This is the cycle. This is what Microsoft's doing. It's firmly on this railroad track for this cycle, much like what we saw back here. I mean, go back to last decade. You know, you're riding the tracks all the way up. It's the same thing here. The economy is exploding in terms of dollar volume put into circulation, inflationary printer or whatever. Those dollars will go to people. Okay, and they will go to the corporations that basically serve up the bulk of what mostly the government's looking for them to do. Okay, and then the public is the other half. But the larger trend of these companies growing is not stopping here. And there aren't any, we don't see massive bearish patterns. And if anything, those have failed. And this is continuing. And so if we know that these cycles, you know, welcome to the 1618, right? How did you feel about the 1618 a year ago? Like, how would we get all the way to 1618? Well, now let's do the big finish of the cycle where we go beyond a 1618, 1902 range. I want to think about 314s. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen maybe even next year. But I'm thinking that you're in a building process to get to these 314 long-term, weekly, or monthly. It's probably the best way to look at it. Monthly extensions. They take time. But as long as we can frame out the market and have an understanding of, yeah, this is where it's going, it looks pretty good. We stay within our train tracks here. That's where it's headed. That's how we get a clue of how high. Now, it can go even further than that, but this is the assessment. Everything we have talked about for the last 2 years in tech has come to fruition. That 2022 was the decennial low, the decade low. We had patterns here that this would be a next leg in terms of the long term, dare I say, this kind of a thing where it's, you know, it's kind of like this. You know, there's XA. If 2015 or 2018, if that was X, A, B, C, D kind of a deal. So if that's 77 to 370, 300 points generally, get another 300 off the low to get your XABCD. You know, it's like 520. Minimum. These are minimum harmonic objectives. The beauty about the harmonics is that you identify the structure and the framework and you're like 2/3 of the way there. The magnet effect will come in and take you the rest of the way. So, you know, we're magnet effect to here when our magnet objectives are like there. There's a lot going on, guys. So that's, look, that's one of many, and those are moving. Who put up Intel? What's up, Lewis? Lewis wants to look at Intel, and so do I, because first time, first week, 3-bar breakout, yellow dots all over the place, type 2, deep crab. This is your laggard semis, but that's progress. And again, this is another situation where type 2 is complete, T2, yellow dot, check back. We go in here for 2 or 3 months sideways, and now we break out. Folks, this is why I say get the software, because a lot of times people are tracing out patterns. I've gotten some things, or people are just going on any pattern that they think they see. Let the software, because all the algorithms are designed to uniformly uh, present the true levels, and then you're looking for T2. That's what that is off the weekly. Yellow dot. There you go. Retest in here, and I've been saying 30 all along. 3087 is XA exactly, and this should at least get us back to 43. That's just one of many that we've talked about, but that's a good one. The other one was, we had stuff like Global Foundries, which has been making progress too. It's a daily type 2. There she goes. And that's another one we've talked about. I love semis, and I think any semiconductor pullback is to be bought, accumulated, continue. Here's the latest dot. SMH just gave us a dot on the daily right there 3 days ago. That's continuation, at least up to new highs, if not higher. Amazing. Look at that. Ever since that bat at 198 back in April, now we're 272. That's amazing strength. Now here's your long term. Just so you guys know, I've been talking about SMH forever, and check out what the monthly's at. You know, monthly here, 2618 range already. With 314, it's above 300, and that's where you go. I mean, with this kind of strength, continuing higher every month, higher high, higher lows. Think of it this way as well, just so you know. Here is the first signal of HSI being overbought, okay, but does not even trigger until we check back, which we did, and then we need 2 red candles. What do we have? Green and green. So SMH just trends higher until you see 2 red candles. I mean, that's, we put together the pieces within the framework, and we know that, okay, I wouldn't have to worry about SMH until I saw 2 red candles. And I know my targets are more like 320. We're doing a massive 314 blow off move. What's up, Big Mama Ninja? He or she asking, apart from the semis, do we have any other cool sectors cooking? Yeah, I mean, look, there's lots of things. Security looks good. Maybe not as good as others, but here's VeriSign, which has been a laggard, but it's got some really interesting patterns. Same with Cloudflare and a few others, but look, let's get the recipe. I want some daily patterns, right? I want some weekly oversolds, or maybe even monthly oversolds. But all of that's pretty good. VeriSign back down like 168's the number. Home builders. We didn't even get to SPY. Let me jump to SPY. Boy, you guys had me going forever. SPY 1618, kids. That's at 562. We're almost there. I mean, take a victory lap, everybody. I think we go as high as 581. Okay, on this move. It all depends on what happens on HSI. Check out HSI. Okay, HSI here, hitting the oversold as we speak for the week, but we need to still do the inflection. You know, come on up. We could spend many weeks up here and continuing to go higher, which is, I think, what we're scheduled to do. So we're here also amplified, overbought. If that was to roll over and come out of the zone, okay, I'd start looking for a retracement pullback. Because, listen, we could get something to go to the hop and then get a hard retracement. You know, get up here, 581, then maybe something hard back 517 or even 462, and then go again. But any retracement that we would get would be just a resumption eventually of this long-term uptrend. Guys, and really like what has happened over the last 2 years. And we really want, you're going to want to, I'm not going to say beg, but you really want to see some kind of pullback setting up here soon to give us the next opportunity for 2025. We're going to trigger something in here and then come back down. Okay. Once this finishes, whatever that is, the big move, the big leg that goes bonkers is whatever this next retracement is. Just so you know, we are almost at the end of the journey, the first journey. And it's been, better part of almost 15 months or more of this journey. Probably the bulk of it happening really since October. You were down here at 414, come all the way up, you're at 565 almost. So once we get up there, take a little break, have a little snack, if you will, and then we'll let it do its thing. And I think maybe it's like a post-election, or maybe it's right before the election in November, kind of a sell the news event. But from within the framework of harmonic patterns, that 1618 is dead on. And we're going to focus on that level with confirmation and handle it accordingly. What's up, Mohammed? He's asking the difference between HPC, Lite, and Pro. This is Pro. Just get the TradingView get the TradingView program, my man. If anybody's in here and you haven't gotten the software, you have to get over harmonictrader.com. Get the free 2-week trial. Send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. And the way to do it, okay, is you go through the charts first. A few too many people are getting the software and just trying to trade off of the first pattern they see. Please, no. Give yourself a few days. Get a few hours of chart time to see how things work out. Definitely review the videos here on the basic members page, the type 1, the type 2, because there are nuances like confirmation in the zone that are going to help you be as precise as possible. And the other thing of the type 1, type 2 strategy is essential as well to understanding reaction versus reversal. It's a model, it's a framework, but it fills in the gaps. Couple more. Yeah, we look at gold, Kate. We can look at gold in a minute. No, the gold's been great. We're just looking for gold to do its pause. Gold has been in a sideways move for, I don't know, last month or two. Check out NASDAQ dropping low of the day. Very interesting. Not bad. I'll get to gold in a second. SPY, so we know the deal. SPY about to scratch that 1618, and that's something I go to the monthly. We'll look for it on the monthly. And the other thing about the monthly is we have HSI, we have a check back, but we still need at least one red candle. Check it out. There's the first HSI, Harmonic Strength Index, overbought. It checks back, but it's not a signal until we get a dot. And we get a dot by getting one red candle and a second red candle. And that's, just wait for a monthly reversal. But SPY, just been, look, this long-term trend continues, guys. Mainly because of the money printer. And I don't want to get too much into that. But yeah, the money printer, it's permanently on. It's going to print out. Some days it'll print out 10 pages a day. Sometimes it'll print out 100 pages a day. But this, and we're above that trend line, by the way. We're above that upper line going back to financial crisis. No doubt. But this is still the proposition for a long time to come. It's something like that. And you can project that out into the rest of the decade. Yeah, we're overextended even within that channel. But this is the game. This will be the game for the next 3 to 5 years, guys, till we get to those 314 extensions. There and there. Like I said, if crypto was doing things, this would be probably the best year period for most people. But that's the path forward. And that doesn't change. Do we come back into the zone? We sure can. We're close. We're close to an inflection. I got to say that. We could still rally another 5-10% higher. But once we get up there, I'm going to be looking. We are getting close. Couple more. And I'm going to get out of here. We might have an opportunity. I don't know. What's up, Diamond Faded? Hope your diamonds are not fading. Your diamonds should always shine brightly. Shine brightly. That's right. Yeah, printer goes brrr. Wave 5, Stara? You think it's a wave 5? Could be. You know how many wave 5s that I've heard from Ellioticians through the years? You know, the wave... Bob Prechter was looking for wave 5 in 1993, guys, at 3,900 on the Dow, and never changed his course. He was bearish to 10,000. I'll stay with the harmonics. Why? Because we live in a fractal universe. If you are not familiar with that concept, Google it. We live in a fractal universe and we trade in a fractal market. That's what the harmonic's all about. You got it, man. Great to see you though. Thank you. All right, Kate, let's just jump over to gold, because this is a good segue to dollar yen and a little look on the rates. Gold futures looks like this. That's not pulling back. Monthly, look at that curveball. Check it out. Weekly butterfly getting generated by the software with confirmation. I like it. I like it for a reaction. So there's your gold chart. If we get a target 1 to 222, excuse me, 2222, 2,222, that would end the type 1. So I think this is why it's been a few weeks since we've looked at gold. But yeah, and come on, let this finish. Come back down here. This is probably what we get for the next few months. We get a grind down. All right, and then we hit this 2222 level weekly. Yeah, HSI is nowhere to be found, so let this be a reaction. Gold loves to set up long positions October into November and start running from November to February. It did it last year. It'll do it again. You know, and we talked about that. Last year in the fall, we were saying, yep, where was it? It was like, yeah, it was setting up down here, right under 2,000. And then December, November, and then explosion into January, February. Actually, one of the strongest seasons we've seen in a long time. But here we are with the summer again. Let it come in, because once we get there, I still say long-term target for gold, meaning next 2, 3, 5 years, is 2,800. Looks like this. It's another 1618. Get to know it. Learn it. Live it. Know it. 1618 right there is 20. Where'd you go? 2920. Yeah. Kind of like that. Let me get this right. It's like this. Yeah, it's like that. This kind of sets up as like a deep crab off of this massive structure. Monthly chart too. That's what we're doing. We are in price discovery, right? I think we all can agree gold entered into price discovery just a couple months ago after a really impressive move from a 4 or 5 year consolidation. I mean, this is just an impressive long-term chart. Gold is building 1618, call it 29 or just shy of 3,000. That's the objective, next 3 year objective. 3 to 5 years within this decade, we're clipping gold 3,000 an ounce. The question is, where do we position to get in on that? Long-term uptrend since the financial crisis is probably the best way to look at this thing. You know, just look at that. I remember that. I remember that. 01. What was it? 8? No. But that's gold futures. True, right around 1,000. That does not seem right though. Thought we were like trading 300 back in the day at the low. Regardless, this has already started to move. So I like that. And now you compare that with, we haven't taken a look yet. What's the deal? Why Bitcoin is not really moving? You have to go to your bond yields or dollar index even. Okay, there's the yields. 450, 5%. These have to be the highs here for the 10-year. We've talked about that. Whole bunch of stuff. 450 on the 10-year. It was really, no. It's the 2-year. The 2-year yield looks like this. And this is the one to watch. 10 years great, but 2 years even better. You know, topping right out 5%. Couple of oversold, big oversold signals. The thing that, here we go with another 1618, guys. It's like this. No one's really looking at this, although I've been talking about it for a couple of years. You have that thing. You have a perfect, your 1618 is like right there. And that's 475. So this really needs to be it for the cycle. Why? That this whole thing is just an overdone 1618 extension on a crazy yeah, it's manipulated. I'm going to say it. It's a manipulated move. Okay, I mean this is all garbage, in my opinion. Okay, rates they went to zero. What happened here is an absolute change of conditions, COVID, whatever. But whatever it was, okay, this was a massive manipulation to change it. That if it is a manipulation, think about it this way. If it's not a structural kind of change in the long-term way that interest rates function, then this 1618 should be the overspill reaction of whatever this whole mess has been the last 4 years. Not to name names, but whatever the mess has been, what's changed in the last 4 years? I don't know. What happened 4 years ago that might have changed this rate scenario? Policy? Yeah, pretty much. Inability to flood the world with oil so that we get this artificially inflated value. Yeah, that's what's going on, guys. But you still have to deal with it, accept it. But if it is artificial, and this is it, what you're looking at is the last weeks and months of this 1618 where this has to roll over. Can we get under 4.16? Because if we do, then rates will plummet. Market will go straight up in the air. Market will go straight up in the air if we can get rates to roll over here now and this be the top. And then what we do is we come back to like a more of a median range in rates. So your mortgage rates, although maybe not if you're carrying a credit card, I think you're screwed regardless. but we get to a 382, like 350, or we can do a 50% correction. 2-year yield rates should be more like 3%, not 5. If we see that, that will be the massive catalyst for the market to take us to all of those levels that I talked about earlier in the session. I don't trade bonds. I've never traded, well, the TLT. I've owned the TLT before, but I've never traded bond futures. One of the few markets I haven't traded, but I still look at it for that kind of insight. Like, do we have a problem in interest rates? Not yet. The only problem will be above these highs. Like if these highs fail and you find yourself where rates are like 5.5% or 6%, yeah, then you got a real problem. Where we are now, inability to go above the 1618, I actually think we might be looking at a potential opportunity. Let's look at that dollar yen. It's been remarkable, and it's just one market in Forex that is representative of a lot of them. 161, guys. It's been remarkable. Remember this chart? Monthly? It's a massive crab pattern on the monthly. I'm looking for us to finally get to 168. Okay? US dollar yen. This is probably one of the reasons why your Bitcoin is having issues. Dollar yen continues to appreciate that, not so much as the DXY, but this is one of the pairs that I think is creating an undercurrent in Bitcoin. So we're going to watch that, and I'd target 168 for this move, and then we'll see. That's dollar yen. Haven't looked at like things like euro in a while, or how about British pound, because new elections over there with a whole bunch of really great individuals that I think are going to revolutionize the UK. That's complete sarcasm, folks. Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. We're a type 1 crab ready to do the return. So what does that say? Pound's going to go down against the dollar. That's a massive structure. Look at that. Type 1, we got the dot last month. Let's get, I have not, it's probably been 2 years since I've done any deep dive on currencies. This might be the time to start getting back into currencies. You know, they used to be one of the best markets to trade. And then the last 10 years, I guess since the financial crisis, horrible action. But here you go. Harmonic, perfect. Type 1 reaction, done. Yellow dot, checking that back. Dare I say that this is probably almost ready for the short to get it back down for the XA level at 112. Lot going on here, kids. Lot going on. And we're going to have to tie this stuff together. Last one, let's look at euro. Euro versus the dollar, probably similar. Not even as nice. The euro has been, look at this. Euro has been a disaster. It really has just been, I would say almost a failure in terms as a currency. Here's the history of it. And this is a quarterly chart. I'd have to say that if we're going to apply type 1 and type 2 assessments to any pattern, this is a quarterly. Well, type 1, that bottomed in 2000. It went up 8 years. Now a looping return move back to 83, guys. Gonna have to look at this. Something's up. Something's up. What about Aussie? Aussie, AUD, USD. Monthly, quarterly, weekly, something. Yeah, this is, Aussie's another one. Used to be phenomenal. And has gotten pummeled. Really, Even with like COVID was the only thing that gave it any action. And like the last 2, 3 years, just nothing. Really, really lackluster action. So I think you got to choose your pairs. You got to, no dead currencies, no dead crypto. AUD USD is kind of like a nothing, really not, almost not tradable. JPY, sure. What's up, Carthago? He's saying he's over in the Eurozone. You only hold a rainy day emergency fund in Euro. The rest is always allocated to some market. Yeah, and a lot to be said for that in terms of purchasing power. A lot of people are looking for things like Bitcoin. Like, hey, I've got cash. I don't want to put it in the market, or I don't want to put it in dollars, so I'll put it in Bitcoin. I would say, look at the GLD in the same way. I'm trying to communicate to everyone that there should be a portion of what you hold as long-term buy, hold, buy, hold, buy and hold for a percentage, 20, 30% of your capital are things that you just buy and add and hold. GLD is another one, and I like that. Okay, we're a little overbought at the moment, but look, these are trends that are going to continue for the rest of the decade. Look at that. GLD that's got deep crab right here at the 1618. So there you go. GLD, I didn't even look at this when we're looking at gold. Probably another short for a T1, just like the futures down to 196. And then let it do that. That's where we are in the framework. I like that. Notice also that it's kind of corresponding with Bitcoin. You're looking at what happened in the last few months where Bitcoin's topped out, gold's topped out too. So we are likely in this pause retracement time frame with all of this. What's up, Adams? Wants to look at silver. Yeah, I haven't looked at silver in forever. SLV, it's a big bat on your weekly, 29, almost $30 spot. Nice. Silver is another one. Major patterns, monthly. Let's hold on. Remember this? I know we talked about that a long time ago. Beautiful XA, target 1, 13, hit target 2, right back. It didn't do a perfect type 2, but I would say that's probably is still going up to 34 on the SLV longer term. That's another one. A little overbought at the moment. But yeah, I do think, look, I think these metals, these SLV, GLD, they're going to find a home and they're going to find allocation. You had this big thing in the last decade for silver. Massive correction after the financial crisis. 5-7 years of basing, and now you're headed back up. The T2 on SLV is 36 anyway. So I still like these, and they can go higher. Overbought in the short term. Overbought. So if that thing came back to 23, that's probably the next buy point on SLV. But I like it, and I think, extra money that you're looking to protect, these kind of vehicles you're not going to get hurt. You're not going to get hurt. So just patient with it, but understand what has happened in the last year, 18 months with gold and silver is unique action of long-term continuation. Long-term continuation. This stuff moves really slow. So since we've done all this, let's just maybe wrap up on crude oil. It's another one we haven't looked at in a while. Drill, baby, drill. That's all we need to do as a country. If we could just look here in the United States, we're sitting on more oil than everyone else. Okay, and our ability to get to it with the technology. About 10 years ago, guys, I got involved with a natural gas project with some guys that did some pipeline work up in North Dakota. And it didn't really work out because they didn't want to sell their company or at least open it up to investment. But I learned a tremendous amount of what's going on in the energy industry in the United States, and it's really amazing stuff. So we have the capacity, and what really think is happening is artificially. It's artificially being held back where we see crude oil at $80, $85 a barrel. Production cost is like 35, $40 a barrel. That we should be more trading in the 60 area, 50, 60 in terms of capacity, what we can do. But what do the charts say? Well, daily time frame, daily and weekly, we've had big patterns over the last 3 years, 4 years. Why? I don't know. What changed 4 years ago? Don't know. I don't vote either, but the policy definitely affected it. There's 2020. The COVID low is amazing when they were paying you to take gas. But now, okay, we're here. We did the rebound up to 100. We came back almost perfect, 50% correction. We're just consolidating. I think the long-term trend, you go back all the way, Iraq War, don't get me started, 2008, financial crisis as well, it's still down. This is still relevant stuff to consider. Okay, so until that resolves itself, overall, the pressure of the downtrend still exists. If we were to pop back to 100, that would be great, but that's probably about it. And I've said that our two targets shorter term are like this. There you go. Blow it up. 85 to 90 with the shark up here, and then on the low side it was 70, maybe 65 because of that bat. I don't expect these to be a problem. I don't, even with everything that's happened in the world in the last 3-4 years, you would think crude oil would have been a lot higher by now, but it's not. Okay, that's a sign too. We haven't made a lot of progress. We've been looking for this move up to 90 and change. Hasn't happened yet. Maybe we come back. For right now, short term, we just completed the type 2 reversal of that bullish pattern. And we're just probably slammed in the range, 85 to 76. What I think will happen, okay, if we get one result in November, and I probably need to spend a whole session hashing it out with the crew here about economic implications for who wins the election in the United States in November. Okay, and try to keep it without any bias, one side or another. I've shared with you folks, I haven't voted in 25 years, and I probably will never vote again. I was a registered Republican back in '88 when I first voted, and the first time I voted for a Democrat. Second time I voted for a Republican. Usually I found myself voting against people, but that's the norm. And then I just, for a lot of reasons, I just said, okay, I'm not participating in the process. But I do think that it does matter policy-wise. Okay, if you're going to look at oil, crude oil, interest rates, what certain parties are going to do, we can have expectations. Like, all right, we know Trump wins. Drill, baby, drill. We should be able to dramatically increase the supply of oil, which would see oil back at 70 or even 65 in a heartbeat. And some of the things that I learned on that project 10 years ago was, especially with the shale fracking that they do, and these guys up there were doing mostly that in North Dakota, that they can improve that the capacity within 90 days. Within 90 days of, like, say, all right, all out go, they can literally influence the global supply of oil. So it's getting held up on purpose. I know that for a fact. Okay, there is a suppression in production in this country. And you guys probably have heard the stories. I mean, I know it like firsthand. So I look at all of that and I think, if they could collapse oil back to this bat at 65 or 58, what does the market do? Because if we can drop crude oil, like let's say we get this shark at 85 or 90 bucks, and that's the top, and we top out here, and then we come back down, like do something like, come up and then back down where we get 65 or 58. This is how you get rates to drop. This is how you get the market to go straight up in the air. Because the overhang of inflation, which is mostly, and I mean, it doesn't matter if it's food or transportation or whatever, it's all related to oil. So if we can basically cut out the nonsense premium going on and get crude oil back to this bat at 65 or even as low as 58, which I think is a possibility in the next 12, 18 months, depending on November, markets go straight up. Interest rates collapse back, do a 50% correction. And that's how you get the market to really broaden out. A lot to consider. I don't always talk about that kind of stuff because I don't want it to be perceived in the wrong way. But I think we can agree, there's been a dramatic change in the last 4 years with this inflation nonsense. Okay, but I don't think it's a real systemic issue. I think it can be solved, and I think it can be solved pretty quickly. Literally, we could be here a year from now where crude oil is trading under 60 or under 65. And the markets, the Dow, sky high. That's what I'm thinking is shaping up. What I want to do is pinpoint whatever that next retracement is. That's going to be the massive continuation area that we will jump in, just like crypto, okay, and the rest of the markets. We are about to shift into overdrive in the next 6 to 8 months, 9 months. Where do we do it from? I think it's probably at some point this fall we have that retracement opportunity for the next leg into next year. But we need a couple things to happen. Get ready. All right, that's what I have for today, folks. There's a lot to think about, and I really want to go over some longer term ideas so that everyone has I think a broader perspective on what's happening in these markets. A lot of people got really freaked out about the Bitcoin drop, but that's nothing compared to what's going to happen in the bigger picture. And so we need to focus on the bigger picture and how we get there. All right? You guys good? Awesome. Thank you. We'll see you on Thursday. I'll give away a book or two, so come on back. And also get over to Harmonic Trader. Get the software. All right, TradingView, HPC at SR-Analyst. Here are the other platforms. I'll give away a software membership on Thursday, maybe like a 90-day. All right, so come on back for that, and I'll give away a book. You have any questions, get to me over in the Discord or Harmonic Trader at Gmail. Have a great one, folks. Until next time, go get them.